Hey guys, this is Viraj over here, and welcome to yet another session of financial documents for visa interview. Today, I will be speaking one by one regarding what all documents which are required for your visa interview. And this process is especially for students who want to go to US for their master's studies. So, if you are going for master's studies, please watch this till very end so that you will get to know what all documentations are required, what all financial documentations are required for your visa interview. So I'll be sharing my screen and you will get to know. We'll be also having a checkpoint for each one of them. I'll be also showing the live examples in front of you, what all documents and what all ways in which you can show those documents and why to show those documents. So let's start for our session, guys. Yeah, as you can see from my screen itself, we'll be discussing today regarding finances for visa. So coming on to the next page. Yeah. So what are the liquid assets for the visa and checkpoints for them? So what are liquid assets which are required for your visa interview? So mainly consider the fact that please keep in mind that for your visa interview, you will have to state what all liquid assets are there with you. There shouldn't be any assets which say that it will be liquidated in the near future or beyond that or something like that. The assets should be liquidified then and there itself. So what are liquid assets are required for your visa interview? That are first your bank certificate, which is having a saving bank account, your FD account, or current account. So this bank certificate can be from your end or from your financial sponsor's end. So who can be your financial sponsor? As I have discussed this in my past interview of I-20, your parents, your relatives can be your blood relatives can be your financial sponsor. So you can also have multiple sponsors. If you're having multiple sponsors in this, so you will have to take a bank certificate of each and every one of them. Coming on to the next, that is the mutual fund. Mutual fund statements of financial sponsors are required. So if they're having any investments, if you are having any investments, then you can also show mutual fund statements, demat account statements. If you are having investments in shares and equity markets, then you must be having demat account for that. So for that, you can generate a demat account statement, and that also works during your visa interview. Scholarship letter, of course. So if your university has given you a specific scholarship, then you can opt for the you can have that letter for your visa interview and you can show it to the visa officer. Fifth is your provident fund statement. So if you are working, you are having provident fund, then you can show your EPF account statement, that provident fund statement. Your parents are working, then obviously they can show their provident fund statement as well. So everything will be consolidated over here. So your bank certificates, mutual funds, and everything will be consolidated to satisfy your liquid asset requirement for your study abroad needs. Education loan sanction letter. Obviously, education loan sanction letter is a letter which states that you have been sanctioned a loan for so and so amount. Everything will be mentioned in that, and it will be a proper agreement document signed by you and every by the loan provider that you have been given a sanction of so and so amount. So that stands as a legal proof of for a loan sanction letter that you have been availed so much funds for your study abroad needs. Even the jewelry valuation certificate works over here, but I don't much advocate that you have to carry this because this is not compulsory, I would say. But the top most of the bank certificates or the any of the investments like a mutual fund GMAT, you can show that the PF statements and education loan sanction letter. So these are the most which are counted among the list of liquid assets. So I will show you one on one the examples of all these statements. Coming to the bank certificate, this is the bank certificate format which you can show for your visa interview. So it should have a letterhead of the bank. It should be on the letterhead, and obviously the date should be mentioned because this bank certificate should be within 3 to 4 months. Within 6 months, usually it is said. So it's better you take a bank certificate as which is near to your visa interview date. or if you applied for your I-20 with this, then obviously you can carry forward the same statement, same certificate to the visa interview. It should have this format. It should have everything in it, the account number, details of your financial sponsor. Obviously, financial sponsor should be mentioned. It can have your name also. You can also take your certificate if you have sufficient balance. And it should have a balance of both in INR as well as in USD. So everything is mentioned over here. And obviously the branch manager's sign and seal is given over here. So this is the proper format for bank certificate. Coming on to the next, that is the mutual fund statement. Mutual fund statement is a statement wherein your investments you are showing for your visa interview. So this is the format for your mutual funds. You can either show the CAM statement. If you're having CAM statement, you can show this, you can carry this. You can take a statement on from your personalized mutual fund uh, company and you can show this statement as well, this copy as well. This is how your mutual fund is there. So everything will be mentioned in there, plus the amount and everything will be mentioned in there. Over here, the amount is mentioned in INR. I will come to that part later, wherein how we can convert this into dollars. Okay. Third thing is our demat account statements. The demat account statement is another format for your investments needs which we are showing towards our visa interview. So this is the demat account statement which we can show. Okay, guys. So this is the same thing as mutual funds. We can show the demat account statements like this. The other thing is the scholarship letter. If you have received any scholarship letter from your university, then you can show that scholarship letter. If you have received any scholarship letter from external sources to apply to any of the Indian trusts or firms which are offering scholarship for study abroad plans for students, then you can show that scholarship letter as well. The PF statements, I will show you the PF statements as well. So this is the provident fund statement. As you can see, you can take this statement. This is the EPF statement, EPFO statement. You can take this statement and everything will be mentioned over there. So this statement work over there. Education loan sanction letter. Education loan sanction letter is a very proper formatted letter by a loan provider. This is a loan provider. It will be on the obviously on the letterhead of a loan provider, and your name and details will be mentioned over here. The student names and details. The loan amount will be mentioned. Obviously, the loan amount should be there, and the dollar conversion amount should be there mentioned over there. Obviously, this is important during your visa interview, dollar conversion amount. Obviously, the other details are also mentioned, like the rate of interest, the processing fees which are charged, the repayment terms. This is also very important thing, how you will be repaying your loans. So this is another important thing, and it should be signed by the loan provider. This is just a format. It is not signed by the loan provider. It is just a format for you to understand. The other thing is a jewelry valuation certificate. Jewelry valuation certificate, actually, there are various formats for it. So there is no specific format which is there. So currently this has been adopted by Government of India for jewelry valuation certificate. Some of the jewelers which are near to very popular jewelers, they adopt their own formats in which they give you a proper, on the letterhead, they give you a proper valuation of all the jewelry which is in possession with you. You can get this jewelry valuation certificate on the net. So these are the liquid assets which you will need to check and you will need to carry if they are fulfilling your amount for your study abroad plans for your complete 2 years of education. Obviously, you will have to show that thing as well. You don't have to, for I-20, you have shown your first year fees through either through bank certificates or the loan sanction letter. But for your second year education, second year cost of education, to fulfill that, we have to show these statements as well so that we are able to fulfill the second year cost as well. Coming on to the next slide, which is the additional documents which are required apart from the liquid assets. So what all additional documents which are required? So affidavit of support from financial sponsor is required. So that is the most important document which is you will need to carry from your financial sponsor. It states that your financial sponsor is legally bound to help you out financially for your study abroad plans. So affidavit of support will be required for your visa interview. So I will show you the format for that as well. So this is the affidavit of support which can be taken for your visa interview. So this is printed on a 20 rupees wala stamp paper. So 20 rupees wala stamp paper is the minimum stamp paper which is you can use for your supportive affidavit. Apart from that, you can also if you are not getting hold of this valuation of stamp paper, then you can take a higher value stamp paper as well. It should be notarized by a notary public. So there are notary publics, it should be notarized by them. And these states that the financial sponsor is legally bind for your study abroad plans. Is financially only prepared to provide for your financial support. So this is required as a legal document for your visa interview. Apart from this, you will also require a bank statement for 6 months. We are shown your bank certificate in the previous slide. We are shown our bank certificate. For that bank certificate, we will be requiring a bank statement for 6 months. So you can take a bank statement for 6 months. Along with you can take a bank statement like this as well. So this will work for as a bank statement. Okay. You will also need to take a CA certificate. So many students ask me why we need to take a CA certificate. The CA certificate is actually not a document which states that this is a liquid asset, this is a liquid asset. CA certificate is a supporting document for all the liquid assets and the assets which we are showing. So all these assets will be mentioned in the CA certificate. So coming to the part of CA certificate, I will show you how the CA certificate looks like. So this is how a CA certificate looks like. I'll just zoom it. Yeah. So you can see over here who is the name of CA and he's making the statement for that particular person, for the financial sponsor, for the particular student who is going for that university, what all savings he is showing. He has got a scholarship as well. What all savings he is showing, that is in Indian rupees, that is mentioned in Indian rupees, that is also mentioned in US dollars. So coming to the part of where I mentioned that your mutual fund statement should have the valuation of that mutual fund. So if that valuation, obviously they will give you a valuation in INR only. So over here, the CA will convert this into dollars. I will show you that. Over here, the sources of fund is mentioned in this part, wherein you can see the movable assets, the immovable assets are mentioned, the personal or family savings from abroad, if they're having anything from abroad, if they are, what's the current income from India? The current income from India is mentioned over here. The loans is mentioned over here, the loans part and the dollar conversion. So over here you can see that there are two columns, one in Indian rupees and one for US dollars, for visa officer to understand that what's the valuation of the student, what's the valuation student is showing for his study abroad plans. Coming on to the next page, we'll go to next page. So this page is for all the asset classification. So one is the movable asset classification. What all movable assets are there? Mutual funds are there. Yeah, he has shown mutual funds. So over here, the Indian rupee conversion and the Indian rupees mentioned is over here, and dollar conversions are mentioned over here. So obviously those statements won't have the dollar converted amount. So the CA has mentioned the dollar conversion amount according to the market value of that particular date. Over here, you can see the immovable asset classification. So immovable asset, what all he has shown some properties over here, some site properties, some house properties in the name of his financial sponsor. So all these property are mentioned over here. So for this, you don't necessarily have to take a valuation certificate from a valuer. I repeat again, you don't have to take a valuation certificate, or you don't need to do a valuation from a valuer. The CA can just mention the FMV, that's the fair market value of that property, and you can go ahead with that. So for example, if you have a house of 1,000 square feet, you must be having a knowledge of how much is the area rate, market rate of that area, market rate in that area, particular area. So through that, you are able to estimate this. And obviously this will be the current market rate, dollar conversion will be the current market rate of that specific date. Coming to the next page. This page belongs to the current income from India. So what all current income is mentioned mentioned over here is the salary income, which is mentioned over here, of his financial sponsor. Salary income is mentioned. And this is the last page of CA certificate. It is mentioned over here that these are properly shown and original documents and affidavits are proper in order. And it will be signed by CA and it will be sealed, stamped by the CA. So this is the CA certificate, guys. You will have to take this CA certificate. This is very important document for your during your visa interview. So don't miss this. Coming on to our next slide, which is the fixed assets for visa. So as you have seen from the CA certificate that the particular student has shown many fixed assets for his visa interview. So why it is required? What's the actual purpose? Why he is showing the fixed assets for his visa interview? So over here, there is no such thing that you will be selling off your property and using the funds for your study abroad plans. That is not the intention to show your fixed asset. And you shouldn't even state this in front of the visa officer that I'll be selling off my property for my study abroad plans, for my education fees. Don't even mention this. It is just indirectly telling to the visa officer that you have ties with your home country and you will be eventually coming back to India. That's the only reason why we are showing the fixed asset. So what exactly should we show? We should show what all properties we can show through our CA certificate, what all properties you have. If you're having sale deed agreements for each one of them, you can show as many as them. As you can show, as you can see from the CA certificate itself, you can show multiple fixed asset, or you can show one fixed asset also, which is good enough, which is a good enough of value. So this is particularly, as I mentioned, that you are the legal heir of your parents and you will be eventually coming back to India. That is the only reason, guys, we are showing the fixed assets for your visa interview. How much is the valuation is actually required? There is no such thumb rule that you have to show so much value of your fixed asset. That you have to show 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 1 crore, something like that. No, there is no such thing. It is just for the sake of to understand to the visa officer that you have a fixed asset, you are the legal heir, and your financial sponsor is owning a fixed asset. That's it. Is valuation report required? No. As I mentioned, there is no valuation report required. The CA will mention a FMV, the fair market value of that property, according to the current market rate. So I will show you the document which you will need to carry along with this for your fixed assets. So this is a format. Actually, this is the seal deed agreement format. You must be having a seal deed agreement with you guys. Your parents must be having a seal deed agreement. This is the format for that. This is just a sample, and you must be having a seal deed agreement on a stamp paper, and you can carry a copy of this for a visa interview. So this will work. Coming on to the next slide, that is the current income source from India or abroad. So over here, whose income can be shown? All of your incomes can be shown. If you are earning, you can show your income. If your parents are earning, obviously your financial sponsors are earning, you can show their income as well. Your mom and dad are earning, you can show their income as well. So what all is required for your current income? What is the proof that is required to show your current income? Those are the ITR statements for last 3 years and the salary slip for last 3 months plus the annual income mentioned on the letterhead of employer. For example, some of the parents or the financial sponsor don't have ITR statements. They are working in abroad, they work abroad, they don't file ITRs over there. So they can take an annual income statement from their employer mentioning that this is the annual income of that particular person, and the dollar converted amount should be mentioned over there. So you can show these two are there, and obviously this can be shown if you are not filing your ITR. So for ITR, I will show you ITR statement. This is the ITR thing. You can show this format. In this format, you can show your ITR statements for your financial sponsor, or you can show even yours. Just show the payslip. So this is the payslip format which can be shown for a visa interview. Why it is required? Yeah. So it is required, obviously. So the thing is that you have shown your funds for your I-20 for the first year. So if there are any untoward expenses for the second year, how will be the financial sponsor fulfilling it? That will be the main question in the minds of visa interviewer. So that is why we are showing this statement, this ITR statement, the salary slips, that he is financially capable to fulfill your cost of education. Some of the universities also consider that 1/3 of this annual income of the financial sponsor can be considered for towards the student study abroad plans. So some of the universities do consider this. So that is the main reason why we are showing the current income source of your financial sponsor. So what all source of income can be shown? You can show salaried income, salary if they are earning salaries. So yeah, obviously they are working there. You can show the salaried income. You can show rental income as well. They are having rental properties. They have rented out any properties. You can show rental income. You can show if they are self-employed. You can show business income. So you can show your business income as well. So all these types of income can be shown over here. Okay. Coming on to the next slide. All other documents apart from financials. What all other documents which are required apart from financials? So these are the academic documents which you will need to make a note of, which are required during your visa interview. There is one more set of documents, which are the visa related documents. So these are the visa related documents which you will need to carry. So the academic documents plus the visa related documents and plus the financial documents will fulfill your total documentation for your visa interview, guys. Okay, I hope I am clear, guys. And if you are looking out for your visa interview, yes, you will have to fulfill all these documents and you will have to be ready for your visa interview. So all the study abroad aspirants over here, good luck for your visa interview. Okay, thank you, guys.